What's up, everybody? Jackson here today with my little brother Chubbz.
Hello, everyone.
Today we're going to be playing Dark Souls Remastered. Rebastard?
Repatchered?
Repatchered? You know that $20 patch everyone paid for? Yeah, they got me in the end. Fuck it. So I've been wanting to put together a playthrough of Dark Souls for our channel. There's been many ways I wanted to do this. Part of me actually, like, ideally, if I had the know-how and we had the editing software and things available, I would prefer that we were to play it together and just swap back and forth and edit an entire playthrough where we're together co-oping the game. The problem with that is if we do a co-op playthrough of the game, we got to deal with invaders. And invaders, since the game has been out for so long, has been there's a meta, and it gets exploited, and invaders are overpowered and often exploitative in this Dark Souls game.
Oh yeah.
And since I was like, I want to do a playthrough, I want to do it on the remastered. I played it once on the Sony. I want to get it for the PC and play it on the PC and record our initial impressions of it.
Right.
Even more so is the invaders going to be a problem in this version of the game, because this is the remastered that everyone's playing. So we're playing this offline. If you notice, this is login. It's because we're offline. We're doing this. I'm just going to play it.
Right.
And Chubbz is here to talk to me and have conversation with me and basically share anecdotes with each other and tips and things like that. It's my desire that by the time anyone gets done watching this video, they will be able to beat Dark Souls themselves. And it's my hope that that's the case. I don't want to make this for people who intend to play it. Don't watch this. But if you're someone who's wanted to play it and gotten frustrated with it, much the same way I did my first several times, you did your first several times, it's nice to have a guide there to show you and give you some advice. Like, I personally looked up help online in the form of wikis and guides when I got to the point where I was frustratedly rage quit moment.
Right.
Like, I'm not fucking getting anywhere. I'm going to look up something, an arrow in the right direction.
Yeah.
You know, like something. Give me a tip.
Yeah.
You know, and so like I looked up a little bit more, and then eventually I'm doing entire NPC playthroughs and things like that as my knowledge of this game comes from looking at guides, getting advice from friends, and also my own playthroughs. And I've played through this game numerous times. And that's why I'm going to be playing it, is just mainly because I have the experience.
Right.
And we want a clean playthrough. Mm-hmm. So, and I'll probably embarrass myself now, and I don't mean to be like snobbish or anything like that. I just have logged many more hours into the game than Chubbz has. I don't think I'm better than him or anything like that.
No, and another thing like that is when you're playing a game like Dark Souls, you're building your character, and it is your character.
It's a trickier game to play die by die and level by level. It's
kind of simplistic with it just being stats and gear, but at the same time it goes deeper than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, there's a lot of personal
like
preferences and things that you're wanting to get at this stage rather than this stage. You know what I mean?
Yes, exactly. So this is a build that I've come across because it's the best for just straight up beating the game. This is a conglomeration of just knowing that the cleric starts with a hill, so I know that's 5 extra hills. I know that I can get a very good weapon early on, and with the cleric I don't have to scale up my faith in order to use it. It comes with a great shield. There's like a whole slew of advantages to the Dark Souls player on requisite visits or whatever the fuck. I can't even think of the words right now, Chubbz. Help me out here.
But no,
go
it's
with the
true,
master key. Always go with the master key.
The healing system is you only have 5, and unless you wanna, you can go up to 10, but you have to, you know, go human and offer it at that bonfire, and then you're only getting 10 from that bonfire onward. So if you go to a different bonfire, it won't refresh them up to 10. It'll only refresh up to 5, like 5.
And that's an interesting, I'm glad you're bringing that up, the bonfire system and the kindling and stuff. Like, there's a very, I mean, if you haven't heard of him, Matthew Matosis, go look him up. He's an excellent critic within the Souls community, well respected. I enjoy his videos a lot. And his video for the Dark Souls, where he did an entire playthrough of Dark Souls, I've watched that a lot, and I've watched it as I'm going to bed. That's another reason I want to do it, because there's just things I want to add into the conversation when he's playing it.
Right.
And I'm like, I wish I could bring that up to him, or I wish I could bring that, and I feel like that's the way the Souls community is it's like, there's never a feeling of like, it's like our video, our lore video on Gehrman on Bloodborne, where he fucked the fish. People don't look at that as like, I mean, it's very rare is that video received negatively. Even when people disagree with it, they're like, cool video, dude.
Yeah.
Like, that's a fucking awesome little idea. Like, I like that. You're probably wrong.
Oh, yeah.
But it's an awesome idea, and you've created enough, thoughtful evidence that...
That's the thing, is it's not so far out there. There's enough evidence presented, and that's why it's
and it's also received well, because it's like, there's a love for that sort of thing within the Souls community. And these games have a following of very cool people. They have a lot of large fathers also, but they have a lot of really cool, introspective, very timid, relaxed, chill individuals. And I always want to be like, put myself forth as that, but I have a hard time with that sometimes. And that's why I love Dark Souls, because Dark Souls was an emotional mastery for me. It taught me how to master my emotions in a way that I can't properly explain. If you play this game calm and collected, you can beat it no problem first time through. If you're frustrated and angry and you're just hit up against a wall with a boss and you're dying over and over again, the angrier you get, the worse you will perform. And that's what I love about this game, is because that's exactly the way life is, man. Like, if you live your moment-to-moment life in an emotional state of anything really, sadness, anger, whatever it is, hatred, you're gonna live a very imbalanced life, and it's gonna be, and I've had that happen. Like, I lived that way for many years, to the point where I don't even know who the fuck I was at that point in my life.
Yeah.
But playing through Dark Souls and the overwhelming theme of like the cycle, the life, death, everything that lives will die, and everything that dies will be forgotten at some point or another. Make no mistake, that's just the way it is. Because there's more people who are forgotten in just George Washington's time than there are that are remembered. And that's less than, like, what, 500 years ago? Like that ballpark?
Oh, yeah.
So, I love Dark Souls because there's a whole emotional level I have with it where I have broken down cried in this game. I have thrown paddles and slammed myself in the face playing this game. Like, this has gotten the most extreme emotions out of me that is humanly possible, and it did it because it's simple and straightforward. The more you know and the calmer you are, the better you will perform at this game.
Oh, yeah.
And I love that about it. So once we start the character, we're going to get the cutscene, which is basically, it's a backstory of the world to give it more of a feeling.
Right, well, because it starts in such, like, surrounded with mystery for the story.
Surrounded with fog. Yeah.
So it's like, it gives you a little bit of, enough to go on.
Yeah.
You know, it just sets up what's happening in the world.
It does a good job of setting up, like, what you would say would be, like, say you're playing... Oh, Jesus, excuse me. But say you're playing, like, a Hercules game. About Hercules, and there's a cutscene at the beginning that explains who Zeus is, and the Titans, and all, Mount Olympus, and all that shit. That's basically what I get from this, is it's more of like a setting up of the world that we are stepping into as the chosen undead centuries and aeons later. And it's in a place where almost everyone you run into has forgotten who they are, or are serving people who aren't as they seem. And so it's this situation where it's a world that feels very hollow, which, you know, of course it's supposed to.
Yes.
But it doesn't feel like there's a lot of knowledge that's been carried forth. And there's a few NPCs that we can glean a lot of old world knowledge from. There's Big Hat Logan. There's just, I think Big Hat Logan's about the only, there's Laurentius, the pyromancy guy you save in the deeps.
I think that's his name.
Yeah, and I've not done a full complete NPC playthrough in a very long time, but the world is set in a place where these events happened. These great people had their age, and now it's slowly collapsed, and no one knows what's true anymore. No one knows what's really going on anymore. And the furtive pygmy, I'm still not sure on. Like, here's the thing about the lore with this game, is I enjoy it in an obtuse. Like, I like that it's obtuse. Like, I like that it's obscure. I like that it's hidden. Because that is the entire point of why Miyazaki left it so open and free form. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you have this where it's like...
Yeah, well, it sets up the
I sure hope
events.
that audio is down quite enough. This music gets epic, and I bet you it would be annoying as piss.
I don't think it's that bad. Honestly, I don't think so. But anyway, like, that's what's so cool about this, is it's just like, these events happen, you know what I mean? Like, here's this character, here's this character, and it's like so fast, but it's like paying enough attention on each individual event that, like, you get the gist, you know? Like, it was dark, and then fire happened.
There's so many...
And from the fire came these characters, and these characters rose up against the dragons.
This is
about, like, the Age of Flames, and, like, that's essentially the Age of the Gods, which were the gods that came from the fire that usurped the dragons.
Yeah.
You know, and it's got kind of like a Greek mythology feel, like Zeus overtaking Titan.
But one thing's for sure is that we are some sort of influence is bringing us back to correct the balance. And the balance, there's some debate, especially considering Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, when you have a split ending like Dark Souls 1, with the choices it offers, and then you carry forward into another game, it kind of nulls one of those choices, as you'll find out through the course of the playthrough. There is a dark ending where, upon defeating Gwyn and having the chance to light the fire, you have the option to turn around and walk out. And that's the ending.
And then there's all those primordial serpents that, like, create a bridge for you to walk over them.
They, like, worship you. And that's what's weird, is the primordial, like, Kath and Framp, they're interesting pieces on the board.
Yeah.
That you can never really pin down.
And they're, like, so low-key, both of them. Even Framp, or, what's his name? What's their names?
Kath and Frampt.
Frampt is the one at the shrine.
Yeah, Frampt's the one who's Gwyn's buddy, supposedly. That we're told by Guinevere, who is in actuality a mirror image puppet being controlled by Gwendolyn, who I think is being controlled by Seath the Scaleless.
Right.
And that's a huge theory that I have cooked up in my mind, but with many theories in the Souls games, you run into so many walls. And it's when you can run through less walls that you're like, okay, this is getting somewhere.
Yeah.
And I think there's a huge case to be made that Guinevere fled not to escape the darkening of the fire, but I think Guinevere fled to escape Seath the Scaleless.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Seath the Scaleless, using Gwendolyn as his puppet, had usurped the power of Anor Londo. But here we are, and that's Oscar. He kicked down the dungeon cell key so we can escape. And as you can see, we look a little bit dead. That's because we are dead, but we're cursed to keep moving after we die, which has got to be shitty. And as you notice, like, this guy, there's a lot of guys, and as you can notice, he's a lot thinner and more wore out than me, and that's because he's probably died 100 or more times in this place. And if we look over here, you can actually see this Asylum demon creeping around in here. And when I first played through this game, I thought he was the one that you fight later.
The one up top.
Yeah, because I never came back here. And then I started looking up bosses because I wanted to find all the bosses, and that's when I found out about, what's her name in the Painted World? Oh Lord, that's a huge slip up. I should remember. Priscilla.
Yeah.
Priscilla within the Painted World. I found out about her, and in order to get her, you have to come back here in a very cool, interesting way.
Yeah.
But you can fight that guy later, or sooner, which I tend to do. because it's a huge
an
boost, and
optional area.
he's an easy boss.
You can go there as soon as you get to Firelink Shrine, or do you have to push the story up to the first bell?
No, I think you can go back right away. I'm pretty sure the bird's there from the jump.
You'd probably get wrecked, but...
Yeah, well, I did it last time. I did like a preliminary kind of playthrough of this to kind of get ready for this.
Like, think of how underleveled the player character would be after getting to Firelink Shrine and turning around and coming back.
I gotta say this, what's interesting is we were testing audio levels and stuff, and I apologize for that. This isn't the best audio setup in the world, and we're aware of that, but we're just kind of working within our means, what we got available to us. But there's an achievement just for getting here and lighting this, like... And I thought it was funny because both Fagin and Cancer for Cure were like, achievements are almost always bullshit. And I was reading those before, like, right before we started to test the audio and stuff. And that shit made me laugh, because I was like, wow, I just got an achievement for walking out of my cell.
Some of them are participation trophies.
Yeah, dude. It's just like, what's the point of that? So this guy will attack from up top. Boom! And we can fight him now with our shitty sword or do the smart thing and run away. That's what you want to do. I didn't run away my first time, and I tried fighting him with this. And this game has a reputation for being exceedingly hard, and it's not displayed correctly. This game is challenging, not hard. Challenging, so this would be it's fair. I feel like this game, there are situations within this game that are unfair and cheap. Don't get me wrong. But overwhelmingly so, an informed player with a knowledge of the world and the game systems is going to be at an advantage 100% of the time. Mm-hmm. I will be in an advantage 100% of the time in this, well, not 100%. I guess I should say 99.5%. Because some people will throw in certain, like the Capra Demon. By the time I get to the Capra Demon, he's dead for me looking at him. What I'm talking about is the Witch of Izalith. And she's one boss that is supremely bullshit and cheap. That still... I will almost always die to. I guess I better equip my proper sword, huh?
Yeah.
My mace.
The mace. Cleric mace. Go hit him with the
I actually did a whole playthrough with this mace just because I hated it so much and I wanted to see if it was possible, but it was a co-op playthrough with you. Remember that?
Yeah.
And I skilled it with, I went like proper cleric and shit, man.
I
was
like straight up tank build.
Yeah, I went like stamina and
like
not
a big ass shield and all that armor and shit.
And then I switched to the ball and spike, the spike ball. What is it called? Oh my god.
Oh, the flail.
The flail.
The flail.
Or Morning Star. A flail. The Morning Star. There you go. Fallen Sun. Sorry. That was a dumb joke. Alright, so this is Oscar, and he's dying now. He probably got caught by one of those sucker punching hollow bitches. And
yeah. I'm done for. Lose my sanity.
And this is how you learn about that sort of hollowing, where another very cool cue is that it shows you, yes, I will continue your quest, man, like, and we're going to be doing the Link the Fire ending. We're going to be talking to Framped. We're not going to be going and doing, I know how to do all that stuff, but this is just a playthrough for people who are frustrated and want to know how to beat the game. And trust me when I tell you that this time that we beat the game, we're not even touching the content in the game. There's going to be lots of places that we don't see and a lot of really awesome fucking moments that are hidden throughout painstakingly following NPCs around. And those moments I'm not going to be showing you here. So you're going to need to find those moments yourself. And I just want to show you a way to better be able to tackle this world because it is threatening. But this world is completely manageable, man. You just got to know. That's it. Like, once you know, and it's easy after that, man. You can do anything with that.
Oh, yeah. Well, another thing that's really helpful is just knowing where you're supposed to go.
Yeah, well, that was a huge...
In a game like, like...
That was and that's the thing, like, there's this moment...
And I did the same thing in Axiom Verge, I think, where it's just like, alright, look, I understand there's a lot of places in this map, and there's a lot for me to do, but I just want to know roughly the general area of which I'm traveling to. It's like, if I want a road trip to fucking... you know, like Florida, I'm not gonna be like hit the road without even understanding all the spots along the way.
Yeah.
Like, no, I need to plan this out.
That was Oscar passing away. Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
That
him
yeah,
passing away.
dude. It's little things like that, bro. Like.
But that's the thing about, like,
you want to plan.
I look up spoiler-free shit. Like, I just want to, okay.
Like, point me in the right direction shit.
Okay. I'm supposed to be at the Undead Parish? Cool. I'm not looking up anything past that, guys. Thank you for telling me where to go.
Yep, exactly. And that's kind of what I did. And then in other parts where I was struggling with areas and stuff, I did like look in the guide and be like, okay, where am I supposed to go?
Yeah, like...
One of the places I was really struggling with was Sen's Fortress.
Yes.
Because I kept dying to those snakes and I just was like so frustrated.
And that place
it's silly
is
looking at it now.
confusing.
Well, yeah, but it's silly looking at it now because it's pretty much a straight shot. Like,
it's
not really that
But there's
confusing.
a lot of side shots, and there's all that
but
shit at the bottom with the Titanite demons. There's a huge portion of that map.
But, like, if you don't go down there, like, you don't feel the need to go down there, because
And
I'm not going to go down there. I mean, I could go down there and kill those guys,
well, yeah,
but what's the
I'm
benefit
saying,
of that?
like, because one of my playthroughs, I did do that.
Well, we do. If we're co-oping, we always do,
Oh,
because
yeah.
you might as well. You've got two people.
One of
like,
my solo,
dude,
I
the
was
second
trying
you
to. I was
have-
like, why not? With Titanite demons, I've got this badass fucking build. Why not?
Dude, they'll kill you down there.
Oh,
That
yeah.
fucking sludge, man. Bloop.
And chunk.
And that's the game showing you that the plunging attack is the shit. So use it whenever you can.
I love how this demon looks, by the way.
Yeah, this remaster looks really good, dude. I'm not gonna fucking lie. Like, when I made that video, I was pretty pissed. But I was playing this on the PS4. I'm gonna expect a lot better here. And I'm gonna be looking at places where specifically I had problems. And I still think that visually, this game is too goddamn bright right now. Like, I think it just feels a lot less grimy, and that was part of the atmosphere, dude. Was like that grimy war in feeling of like, and the darkness too. Like, you'll see when we get to Dark Road
God
Garden.
damn it, From Software, you didn't need to do all that you did. You just needed to release a free patch that two modders fucking implemented into your goddamn game.
And the thing about it is that patch does make this game look good, but it runs significantly poorer.
And that's
There's,
why
like,
it should have been like a legit From Software officially licensed patch.
In that game version, like coming up to this with all that open scenery back there, the pretty mountains and shit, that the modded Prepare to Die version, it's sluggish. It has troubles
Oh yeah.
keeping up with that, and there's some moments where you slug along. So this is Velka, the Mistress of Sin? Is that who that is?
The three-eyed raven?
Yeah, essentially she is someone who's helping you.
Bran?
She's the memory of the people, of the fucking humans.
She's the only one
She's
who
the memory
knows.
of the bird people.
She's the only one who knows what happened to Gwen.
To the land of the ancient.
There's a lot of that there is just so many characters in this game and so much. It feels like legitimately like you're stepping into a world that has been shit has been forgotten. This is a wasteland of what it once was. The denizens of this land no longer understand who they are, and if they do understand who they are, they're serving people who they don't know who they are in actuality. And that's Anor Londo. Because Anor Londo has all the knights, has all the proper knights, but are they just illusions? Because once you cast away Guinevere's image, Or is that meant to mean that the knights realized that they weren't following Guinevere?
And they left.
And they left because Guinevere wasn't
when
there.
the sun went down.
Exactly, dude. Leaving Anne Orlando completely unprotected except for Gwendolyn's little bitches that try to gank you.
Yeah.
So, like, there's a lot of cool... People who are watching this to get a playthrough is like, man, these guys don't even play this game. They just fucking talk and ramble.
Alright, time to play.
Alright. So what we're going to do here is we're going to drop 1 in Dex, 1 and 2 in Strength to start off with. Actually, you know what? Let's go 2 in Dex and 1 in Strength. And what we're doing here is we're just dumping our souls because we're about to go die for this start. And this start is... This is my favorite fucking thing about this game. So this game is so open right now that, and this is what I wanted to say really, because this was super interesting. Don't go this way if it's your first time playing. Do not go this way. This seemed like such the obvious way to go. My first time playing, it leads up here to this fountain, and there's obviously this, yeah, there's like chests,
items.
and then you come out
Souls,
here,
and you're like, hey,
oh,
look,
yeah,
items out
graveyard.
there.
And those enemies down there will fuck you up when you first get here.
They don't give a fuck.
And I like that Matthew Matosis says the benefit of this is that the game is giving trust to the player that they'll have the common sense, which I didn't have. But what I loved is Matthew Matosis also brought up the marketing behind the game and them leaning heavily on this prepare to die, super hardcore,
difficult, hardcore
yeah, like
game.
this is a hardcore experience for hardcore people only, and it was perpetuated by the community, when in fact it's not a hard game. It's just an obtuse, obscure game that one must learn the systems of, and it's not in a bad way. It's excellent. It teaches you everything you need to know while playing it, and it offers you everything you need while playing it. And that's my biggest problem with Dark Souls 2, and that's my biggest problem with Dark Souls 3. Is there's several instances in those games where the fucking game has not given me the tools to properly handle that as a solo player. Because the game is expecting me to play co-op, because the game got turned into this sort of co-op
PvP,
yeah,
multiplayer.
huge emphasis put on that shit. Huge emphasis put on the multiplayer and the co-op. I mean, even one of the biggest features of this, the remaster, which we're playing offline right now because we don't want to get ganked, is that they increased the number of co-op players and they added the ability for invaders to heal. They completely reworked the PvP system in this game, except for where it was completely and utterly broken. There they left it untouched. Oh, infinite backstab? Don't fix that shit. That's one of the things the community loves. And the thing that always pisses me off, and still to this day, and like I said, all this is why I'm trailing out, is this is essentially a way for you to be able to get a jump start on the game in a couple of different ways. So just, if you're watching this and you're actually following this as a guide, you're going to want to come down here to the new Londo Ruins. And this is a suicide run, so be prepared to die. I'm sure someone could get out of it without dying. I always try to get out of it without dying, but I always fucking die. So I always consider it's a suicide trap. So it got to the certain point where I just started saying screw it. And I started diving headlong into the fucking rooms of Londo.
Even if you picked up that transient curse back there...
oh, you're not going to be able to do any damage.
You're not doing enough damage to kill
But the game lets me come here. And look at this. I know what this item is. I got it. Quit tripping. I'm gonna try to get out of it.
Nope.
Nope. You can't. They block you.
You
You have to fight them. And that's the interesting thing about it, is that's a trade. I'll take that trade. 159 souls for an upgraded +1 flask this early in the game. Fair trade. And I wouldn't know that if I didn't know what that was, if I hadn't cleared that area and realized, dude, I can come get this from the jump. And that's how my playthroughs evolved. I went from using the scimitar from the merchant and like...
Oh, you're not done yet.
Oh.
You're not
done. I'm going to be back. I got a couple more things to do. I got to go get our weapons now.
Yeah.
And the weapons are fucking fabulous. Starting weapons, they're the best starting weapons in the game, especially if you go cleric. Because the cleric just can equip them right off the bat.
Yep, without any issues.
And just in case there are some, if you noticed, I've been grabbing, I probably missed one here or there. But there are some souls that you can grab throughout this run and this area.
Boost.
There's that S-stock down there too, but I never use that piece of shit. I hate that weapon. I hate the way you hold it. I hate the way you attack with it. I hate that weapon.
Why smash?
As you can see, I'm a big guy, and I like to wield. I like to wield a big old chunk of fucking heavy metal, son. So that's what we're gonna end up getting.
That's a thing.
And we may not get the one we want, but that's the great part of this game. Once again, that is missing and completely absent from Dark Souls 2 and 3, and it's there in Demon Souls, but it's not in Bloodborne either. And Bloodborne has more of the interconnected world than, in my opinion, an openness of a Dark Souls less than a Dark Souls 3. Dark Souls 3 feels to me like a lot of chutes and ladders. And sure, there's a couple of ropes here and there that lead back up and down. But at the end of the day, you're going to the end and going back to the beginning to go on a different chute and ladder. Yeah. And like, I'm not a huge fan of Dark Souls 3. There's a lot of things I really love about it, but there's more things that I really don't like about it. I don't like that I'm forced now in this situation where you've made your game for co-op, and I know that because once I do what I do in the beginning of this game, I'm set up and overpowered and I can handle anything because I'm playing the game in a way that's knowledgeable. And like, there's nothing I'm doing here that's exploitative. As you can see, the game let me start with the Master Thief key. The game let me come here. The game is going to let me grab these items. It's not even that
much more.
I'm going to suffer for it. I mean,
it's much more efficient.
I got away, bitch. I got away, bitch. Yeah. Fuck you, dragon. Nung, nung.
But yeah,
oh, perfect.
The thing about that is the Astora...
I'm just going to kill myself anyway, though. But the dragon didn't get me. Fuck you, dragon!
But that's the thing about that sword and shield is it's not even that much of an upgrade. If you think about like...
it's significant. I'll show you. I'll give you a fucking little taste.
I mean, it's significant, but it goes from like 2 to 3 hits to 1 to 2 hits to die. And I mean, the Black Knight or the Knights and like the big beefy enemies still take a long time to die from this sword.
Oh yeah, well this is just this is just a start.
This is just like if you knew where this was, this is like really
this'll
good
get
for
on the right path.
Yeah,
so
because
yep, I got all the stats.
And it scales with faith, right?
And another thing is it's heavier, so there is a trade-off in armor.
Right.
Alright, so another thing I briefly want to talk about while I run down here and upgrade this is own players' personal senses of difficulty, which is something I really enjoy. There's certain things that players will do to them, so like that guy who played this game with a fucking Guitar Hero, guitar. Like, I find that silly, but I think it's fucking amazing that he thought, I want to do this, and he was able to do it. That's, I mean, I think it's silly. I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't do it. But I gotta take my hat off to the motherfucker, dude. Like, that's insane. Well, yeah. That's insane doing that shit, dude. Like, that takes a lot of time, patience, trial, and error. But my own personal sense of difficulty when I play Dark Souls, what I like to do is I like to eat all of my humanity as I get it. So, as I get humanity, I use all of it. Right when I get it. And I let it ride. And if I lose that humanity, it's because I died once, and then I died before I got him back. And that's my fault, and that's why I now have no humanity, and I can't kindle bonfires. And Matthew Matos's, his own personal sense that he was talking about in his video was he never kindles fires. So if a fire gives him 10, he'll take 10. If a fire gives him 5, he'll take 5. And he never kindles any. He
never does it.
Yeah, that's sort of his sense of difficulty. And I love that there's all sorts of little challenges from that. Just not kindling bonfires, or mine letting every bit of humanity, whenever I get it, let it ride. And it's just beneficial to do that anyway, because that increases your item find. And item find is pretty awesome in this when you're going for the weapon we're going for. It won't matter if we get it or not, because that's the best thing about the game. The game will offer us suitable
That's another thing that I think that Dark Souls 2, like, kind of didn't understand that.
Does it look like there's motion blur going on?
Yeah.
Like crazy, huh?
Yeah. Go to your video settings real quick. Options. Jesus, from soft. These settings are fucking... What the fuck are you doing?
Well, the UI scale will scale down even the menu because,
Jesus.
yeah, I don't want to be able to see the menu.
When did you make this game, guys? Like, this is the patch?
So it doesn't look like there's motion blur.
When did this game... 2019, right? Like, just last year? This last year?
There we go.
Motion blur. There you go. Fucking God, man. Like, just bad.
Why would I ever want that on? Whoa, why did I quit?
Why you do it?
What am I doing, guys? I fucking... Dude, motion blur, I hate it.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
immediately recognizable.
Oh, yeah.
And I fucking can't stand it. And now it's gone, and it looks better. So we can continue now. Sorry, guys. That was gonna fuck me up, though. For sure. If anything's gonna fuck me up, it's gonna be something like that.
Yeah. But yeah, what I was saying before is that's another thing that I think the Dark Souls kind of didn't understand the system, the item find. Because, I mean, in Dark Souls 1, the item find's there because, like, if it has a chance to drop it, it's because that's an item that is really good.
Yeah,
I mean, there's some items that are
well,
meh.
no, there are a lot of items. Dude, you could end up with just a bag full of shit.
And a lot of it is, like, story-wise, and it's, like, more incentive to play it on multiple playthroughs because you're wanting to hunt the story, then you're gonna need to get all the items.
It's like, I'm gonna just mention real quick here, this is, sorry to cut you off, but this is so much brighter in here.
It is.
Like, it's
You
just
can
way
see
brighter.
that gate, like, right away.
And that's one thing, when I was playing through it, it felt less oppressive.
And look at the green. What the fuck is up with the green? It looks like somebody came in here with a canvas spray paint.
Yeah, it was meant to be kind of shaded.
And it's like yellow.
That. And I think it holds up better under the old lighting system. And I wish that smoothness, I could get the smoothness
at that,
here.
like the roughness on the right. Like, what the?
It looks aged, man. It makes it look aged, dude.
2019, $20. $40 if you're on console. Get it now. Dark Souls, prepare to die. You know that hard game that everybody loves? Get good? Yeah, well, we're gonna release a new patch, okay?
$40.
$40 on console. $20. $10 if you already bought the original. Because we never patched it, so we're gonna give it to you for 10.
No, it was still 20.
Was it 20?
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was 10 if you owned the Prepared to Die edition.
If it was 10, I probably would have got it before now, but that's about what I got it for in the end.
It's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, it's bullshit. But whatever. It's you know, you gotta make money. You got a property that's
You're gonna
hot.
make money. You don't care about it.
You got fucking
Clearly.
Skyrim selling like
passion
18
is
fucking
gone.
copies.
The passion is gone. You're making virtual reality games about fairies. You don't care anymore. You're hollowed out. You've hollowed out, Miyazaki.
I don't think he has, dude. By all accounts, Sekiro is dope as fuck, dude.
Fair enough.
But the reason I don't think I'd like Sekiro is because this is the thing. I like this game because I have mastered it. And I was able to master it simply by learning where things are and learning how to build my character and learning how to approach these situations. Bam, right there. Knew these fuckers were there, knew they were gonna jump up, was it, oh god, still got fucking...
That's that random
that hubris!
That 5%.
The hubris!
That 5%. It wasn't a death, but it was a hit.
You gotta stay on your toes in the Dark Souls.
You gotta dance.
Dance, sucker, dance! And I use my heals before I use my Estus. Because that's another thing. I like to see how many Estus I cannot use. It's not a big concern. It's not like it's not like with the humanity. Like, humanity is like, when I get it, as soon as I get to a bonfire, I use it all.
Yeah.
Every bit I got. I'm gonna use that now, actually. You know what they just did too, bro? Is they stopped auto-equipping it with, which I actually find...
Yeah.
I like that.
That's good. That's good.
Because now
That's
if
a
I
good
want to...
step.
But still, if I want to immediately use my humanity now, I gotta go through my menu. And like before, I could just go boom, boom. Oh god, don't drink one. I wasted it. Gene.
It's so small.
God
But
damn
that's
it.
such a small problem, though, when you look at like some of the other problems that
Well,
are
yeah.
in the game. And that's why
They
I
make the
fun
fog
of it.
look semenier.
Fog door.
The fog door looks more like semen now. That's always a plus. They added new textures and
It doesn't.
visuals to all the spells.
It doesn't look as clear and crisp. Like, okay, so here's the thing about
does, but it
no.
looks-
Here's the thing is about the Prepare to Die edition is you're coming through this, but it's supposed to look like a ruined wreck of a human settlement. So it's like all these different colors, like the green and the yellow. That's why I brought that up. It's like somebody brought a can of spray paint to the fucking party. And was like, here's a bunch of random fucking colors all over the wall.
Damn.
Like, look at that shit. Like,
And it's meant to look to look more blurry.
in the Prepare to Die edition, it did have like a ransacked
those.
sort of, fill, and it had all those, like the plant textures. I think when you added the DS fix, I think I remember seeing those. But like aside from that, this version, I'm not impressed with this area right out of the gate.
Well, I think I'm seriously think it's tied to the lighting. Like,
I don't care what it's tied to. Somebody at From Software should have seen that and been like, why does this look like neon fucking colors is in Dark Souls? It's Dark Souls. It's supposed to feel dark. It's supposed to have a dark feeling throughout.
yes. And
Until
not
you
just
get to
visually,
Anor
but
Londo.
thematically, and it
And
does.
even Anor Londo has its moments where it feels super dark. Like when you're clearing through the castle. You know what I mean? Like when you're actually inside the
So
castle.
this is an NPC that you can buy a key from to free an NPC later, or you can just kill him and take the NPC's key. I'm not sure who here is the villain, but I tend to think since Miyazaki has this sort of weird way of portraying things, that this guy is actually the victim in this situation when I kill him. But still, he drops a scimitar and a key I need, so he's got to die.
Little Yoda.
I haven't really looked into that dude's story too much. Probably don't want to because
dare.
I kill him every time.
You're a random dead dick bag.
I don't want to
out
feel
here on a
sorry
bridge.
about the poor innocent guy. He's probably. Do you think he's related to the chick in the well or the tunnel?
I don't know what. Oh, he might be. He
Yeah.
probably has ties because isn't her name Yulia?
I don't know what her name is.
Who the hell is Yulia?
I don't have any idea.
Like, as in Julia?
Yulia.
Yulia Roberts? The horse lady face?
The horse face lady? What?
Yulia Roberts. That's about right. That is that chick in the
What's this
sewer.
guy talking about over here?
That is Pretty Woman. Richard Gere took her from the sewer.
And that rat, that's a whole new meaning to that rat found in there. He does act a little shell-shocked when you come up to him, man. I'm just saying. Might have been some funky shit going on with them sewer rats, man. Oh.
Some like rotting undead corpse, and Richard Gere's gonna put it in a red
Always
dress.
go for the backstab.
Take it to the
'cause
mall.
The backstab is the best stab, and it makes you invulnerable stab.
Spurt of blood. And another thing that I really want to point out real quick is what is excellent about this game is the sound design.
Oh, yeah.
And how it looks. So like when you hit an enemy, there's
It feels like you hit an
and
enemy.
there's nothing. There's like no vibration in the paddle. There's nothing. It's just a slight little
It's
shift.
a feeling.
It's like a slight little shift and like that sound, you know, especially when you get hit. You feel the impact when you're getting hit. And when you hit something, the sound design is like, you feel like you hit that thing.
This room looks so much brighter, dude. Like, so much brighter. I just recently played a little bit through the Prepare to Die just to gear myself up for this.
It looked
And
better.
It looked better. This one looks smoother.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes, because it's an officially licensed patch. It just looks like garbage.
Officially licensed patch.
It just looks like garbage.
This is officially licensed patch
They
here,
don't care
Jim.
over there. They haven't cared since this game. Have you played Dark Souls 2? They didn't give no fucks. They were like, this dragon's breathing fire and hitting the player through a wall. We don't need
Dark
to fix
Souls
that.
2.
We don't need to fix that. Fuck
Dude,
that.
Dark
That's
Souls
not
2 is
cover.
not-
That's not logic.
Dark Souls 2 is not a Souls game.
At all.
I'm sorry.
Which is one thing about this, is like logic, if you're a logical
That's
person.
that key we got off
and
that
you're-
merchant.
Yeah. But in
If you're
this
using
game,
a regular weapon, you can use these to throw lightning on them, and they decimate this fucking Tauros demon up here. It just decimates him.
oh yeah. Well, that's another thing about this game, is if you're a logical person and you're like slow and you're aware of your surroundings and very attentive? Attentive?
I think it is a tentative. I do not know.
You're paying attention and you're wide aware. Friggin', I am that thing right now. I
Yeah,
found a triple shot Starbucks.
I gotta stab him in the back.
Triple shot Starbucks.
Why you drinking triple shots? Why'd you just get the double shot, team? You fucked up now,
I was like,
man.
fuck it, it's happening.
We're playing Dark Souls. Let's get jacked on caffeine, dude.
Exactly.
And I was like, alright. See, and that guy usually dies in that patched Prepare to Die Durantes. So this is part one. You really want to get a weapon off this guy. If you don't get it, it's not the end of the world. But if you get it, it's a better situation. But these guys are tricky. They're not tricky once you realize that parrying is overpowered once you know how to do it. And if you know how to do it and you can keep your calm and cool, these guys are kittens. As I will now demonstrate right now and probably die because I'm a fucking idiot. What did I say? What did I say?
Don't do it, man.
I won't. I'm taking it back.
Take
Come
it
on,
back.
come on.
Take it back. Ah!
Drink.
And parry.
As long as you can get this parry.
Parry.
Look at that. It's not hard at all. It's right when he starts bringing the arm down. It's easy. Give us a Black Knight Greatsword.
Ah!
I got so happy for a minute because you
saw the Black Knight.
It was
and
the
then it said
shield.
shield. And
Fucking
you're like,
shield.
fuck.
Fuck. That's okay though. Even if I don't get the black, that's what I'm aiming for. I'm aiming for the Black Knight, not the super ultra great sword, but
The
just
Black Knight sword.
Yeah, it's the shit. Frankly, it's the best weapon in the game. Like, if I get it, I win. Like, I call that I win drop. When it drops, I go, I win.
And you're playing a pygmy. That's how you can view the humans.
Don't you get away from me.
That's how you can...
Oh my god, you gotta be pissing
you gotta
me.
smack it. Dude, smack it.
God damn it, Miyazaki. Bigger fucking hitboxes on the fucking gem crystal guys.
But you're playing a pygmy.
Crystal lizards
Another-
always get away in Demon Souls, by the way. They
Yeah.
always get away. They're
But
dumb.
You're playing a pygmy. Like, all humans are essentially smaller than every other living being.
We're pygmies?
Yeah, well, yeah. If you look at it, how...
Why is this ladder built for pygmies then, Chubbz?
It's because
Because these little pygmies
this is
defend...
this is the human settlement, man.
That's true. That's
And
true.
like once you get to Anor Londo, look at Ornstein and Smough. Like compared to them, it'd take like 20 of you to stack up and reach the height of one of them. You know
That's
what I mean?
true. Yeah, they're pretty big. Even Ornstein, the smaller one, is still pretty bigger than you.
Here's something to consider. Gwyn isn't much bigger than either of those two dudes. So Gwyn is about the same size as them. And the giants are giant. Like, the giants are even bigger than them.
The thing
and
about
that's like
that,
why they are considered giants, I think.
This
and then the
Tauros demon, look at how good that Tauros
like,
demon looks,
just,
bro, dude.
Because it's
look
like,
at that, look at that.
Anime,
He looks good,
Look
bro.
at that shit.
He looks good, dude. I want to fuck with him and play with him for a minute.
Freaking club is part of the fucking tree you kill
Damn,
later.
I don't have enough stamina. Oh shit, I didn't unlock in time. Alright, draw an attack, draw an attack.
You got this.
If he gets me here, I don't.
Can you not sprint up that?
Fuck no.
Is that one thing they didn't change, you fucks?
I don't know if they did. I'm gonna have to check that, dude.
Lazy bastards.
I'm gonna have to check that, bro. Because if they didn't
We're
do
gonna
that,
let invaders heal and increase the co-op partners.
they didn't.
You fucks.
They didn't.
You fucks.
You still have to stop and
You
slide down
fucking
too.
fucks.
They didn't change it at all, Chief.
You can pop 6 souls at once.
$20, little man. Put that shit in my hand.
But you want to move faster up a ladder? Tough luck, you fuck.
I just genuinely wanted them to remake this game in Dark Souls 3 like fashion, but
Well,
have
yeah.
it be like this, because that's the thing about Dark Souls 3. There's some bullshit in it, dude. Mm-hmm. Like, the boost that I've gotten now by not dying and by pushing through all of this, it's insane. Like, here in a minute, it's not even gonna fucking matter. Like, I'm golden. And it's because I am aware of where my start is, what my start should consist of.
And it's because multiplayer and PvP was considered an afterthought.
Yes, it wasn't the primary focus. And that's the biggest mistake in Dark Souls 2 and 3.
Which is why the PvE content, the solo shit, feels balanced for you in a single player game. However, there are some of them which are very tough and panic-inducing, which is why co-op was thrown in as an afterthought. Like, oh, you having a hard time?
I don't think it was ever an afterthought. I think it was an interesting thing Miyazaki
I think it
wanted
was
to do.
like, if you're having a hard time, you can summon somebody to
No.
help.
I think it was seriously more of like just an interesting twist on multiplayer. It was like an idea of having a crossing paths with a stranger and having a story
yeah.
grow from that experience.
Well, yeah, but what I said is essentially true too. It's like if you're having a hard time.
Well, it is definitely used. It could be used that way, but I don't think that was the thought of it.
It's like journeying together through a tough
If that was
area,
yeah,
you
but
know
if
what
that
I mean?
was if that was the thought of it, then there wouldn't be such an emphasis put on fucking invaders. Like, that's the main thing. Is invaders are fucking the ones who get the fucking fat feast of, like, I don't have to worry about shit.
Yeah.
Nothing here can damage me except for the host. And the host has to worry about everything here. What just happened? What is happening? Is this bow not strong enough to pierce him?
What is going on?
Well, it doesn't matter. He did what I wanted him to do anyway, but then he did that! Alright, I got souls on the board with a lot of humanity there as well. So what I'm gonna do, real quickly, I'm gonna use all of these. That water up there is so loud, bro.
It is.
God damn.
But I don't even think it matters because we got the sound of the game in the background.
Yeah, but I'm sure it's gonna... Sorry,
Oh,
guys.
well, yeah, if it's
We're
loud,
just talking about this loud-ass water pipes in our house. If someone turns on the water for 2 seconds,
Yeah.
it's like loud for 20 minutes.
I'm gonna go shut
You're
the water.
alright. Nah.
Nah?
It's off.
Alright.
It's good.
I mean, like, I was gonna go shut the doors. It kind of helps with that sound. But
It's alright. I'm not too worried about it.
Back to
because
old
the audio on this recording is pretty fucked from Jump Street anyway. So
Yeah.
well, my problem, I'm gonna fucking level up. What am I doing? I used all those for a reason.
You gotta do it, man.
Well, I'm all distracted now. God damn
They're
it.
all flusty.
I died. I can't believe that played out
The
that
fucking
way.
dragon, he was like, no.
Yeah, dude, he didn't give a shit, that dragon.
Nope.
He said, no, fuck you, dude.
He said, you're not getting past me,
And I may
sucker.
have been able to survive it with a little... And as you can see, I'm going all strength and dex right now. You can be more... You can throw more into health and stamina or anything, really, whatever you're building. But for my build, I'm going straight up tanky damage guy. Let's fucking kill shit.
Mm-hmm.
And this dragon's dickhole, he always has been, ever since back in the day, when I've been able to kill this dragon like twice, dude, and it's a pain in the ass.
Another thing is,
every
what's
time.
with this bow? Is it doesn't hit him? It hits him.
I don't
It
know
was
what's
hitting an
going on. I
invisible
swear to
barrier.
God, if he does that
It was
attack
hitting an
again, I'm gonna
invisible
lose my
barrier.
shit. I'm gonna lose my shit, Jim!
Dude, he did it again.
He absolutely did, and now my souls are probably gonna be farther down there. Fucking son of a bitch. That was a different attack. That was one where he goes up and blows straight down. Guess I'm just gonna be better off
Just hit him
doing
with
it
a bow,
naked.
and like, I think you can bait him to walk towards you a bit, and he kind of walks towards you, and then you can like zip it in between his legs.
I've done this so many times, and this is exactly the way I've always done it, and it's always worked until now,
Right.
so I don't know what the fuck's going on. This is how I've done it. This is how I did it just last night when I was playing this game, so something fucked up is going on, and it ain't on my fucking
They're
head.
right there though. That's good.
This dragon's being stupid. He's being a
Stupid
goddamn
dragon.
butthole. And I'm fucking sick of him! Let me into the goddamn shrine of the fucking Brotherhood of the Covenant of the Sun. Now fuck off. Fuck off now, dragon! That's right! Be gone! You dick!
You fly far away.
So the reason I'm doing this real quick is because I want to have access to this stuff. Oh my god, why did I fucking sit at the bonfire? That, more importantly. Alright, we're not fucking with these guys. Fuck these guys.
Fuck 'em. Fucking archers.
Well, the thing is...
What are they, psychos or something?
They just shot me at the bonfire. Okay.
$20 patch.
Alright, here we go. So, I think I need dexterity at 18 and strength at 20. If I'm unmistaken. And I'm gonna reverse my Halloween too, since we're offline, but I like to, that's another thing, is I like to stay human for as long as possible. Before I die and fuck up. Like a fucking jerk loser on the
What?
fucking dragon boss, who isn't
Fucking
even a
dragons?
boss. And this is just a very sweet little bonfire to get right here, because then if you die, you don't have to go deal with the rats, which is one of the trolliest moves I've ever seen by anyone. Those rats in the beginning are frustrating as shit.
Oh, you're poisoned and you don't have anything to get rid of it. You
Yeah,
can
and you
either
don't have any resistance to it.
drain all 10
You're super
Estus.
weak. You're super weak to it, so...
Either drain all of your Estus or go back.
Oh god!
And by go back, we mean back to Firelink Shrine, yes, so... Was it Firelink Shrine? Oh no, I guess it's not.
Firelink? Yeah, it's Firelink Shrine, bro.
The Way of the Rats?
The Way of the Rats? No, it's that shrine down there.
Okay, it's
Or that
Bridge.
bonfire right there.
Okay.
You
Heal.
don't get to do that, man.
$20 patch.
To be fair, it's pretty good looking $20 patch, bro. But it's still, that's what it boils down to, man.
Yep.
That's what it all boils down to, is this is just a patch for
That's
what the game should have been. And they did it with Dark Souls 2 also, bro. The definitive, like, Scholar of the First Sin edition, but at least there they added, like, what did they add to this? I think they added, like, a bonfire at Vamos. Look at this pig, he's so dumb.
Cooked
He doesn't
bacon.
even know that metal and fire
Cooked
armor
bacon.
goes bad together.
You have an alluring
He also doesn't
skull.
even know. Why won't it let me get him in the butt?
You gotta hit him
Let
with a
me
power
hit him
attack.
in
Hit
the
him with a
butt.
power attack. Hit him with a power
It's
attack.
gotta
What
be
are
a
you
power attack? What? That wasn't a sphincter grab.
What happens?
You're supposed to be
Why?
able to... Oh!
No! God
Turn into
damn
the fire and
bacon.
die, pig.
I guess you picked up those alluring skulls.
Fucking...
I find it funny that
Why are you giving me bad advice, man? Come on,
alluring
man.
skulls. They're
Come on,
very
man.
Alluring.
Yeah, you can use those, but it's just as easy to do that. I was just dumb. I fucking shouldn't have tried that. Your advice was poor. I'm sorry. It's
What?
okay.
Power attack, butthole?
Yeah, I should have went and
What?
followed my instinct and got out of there and went and hid by the fire.
Yeah.
But you're like, give him a power attack in there.
I thought that's how you got the fucking backstab on the pig. I know that you can get a backstab.
I don't know what the fuck is going on. I know you can too. I don't know what that was. As far as I knew, it was the fucking regular light attack
Yeah.
would prompt it. It does with everyone else.
Yeah.
Like,
$20
that's a
patch.
backstab. That's light attack right trigger.
$20. You can
$20.
backstab other people online, but you know this boy? It's still gonna be obscure.
I can't believe I... Oh!
Oh, the boy!
Did you see that block? That's what you gotta do, man.
Yep.
You gotta have instincts
Yeah,
and
knuckle
fucking...
up.
Yeah.
Knuckle
Up and
Knuckle
fucking
up,
fuck
chump.
'em up. Beep, beep.
Knuckle up,
Pig!
chump.
Get off of my soul.
Time to make some bacon.
Alright, I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him with it.
Fresh bacon.
Alright, let's
Get
see.
him.
I
Got him!
told you!
What the fuck?
It's exactly what I said it was.
Goodbye,
Light attack.
piggy.
Nope, don't you do it, hey,
Nope,
no,
not
no.
yet, bacon.
Relax. Hey,
Hey,
hey, listen here,
Oi.
bacon. Listen here,
Oi.
bacon. Bacon.
No!
Goddamn bacon. It doesn't work.
No.
Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't work.
There's a sweet
That
spot.
time it worked.
There's a sweet spot.
That's how you get stuffed pig for Christmas. Stuck
Yep.
pig.
Ham.
That's where stuck pig came from.
Ready to slice off a piece of that ham hawk.
Miyazaki is like, hey, I want a pig in there. You can shove things in his ass too. Make it happen, alright?
That's how you kill it. Otherwise,
That's how
you'd
you
be
kill
pinging
it.
against its armor.
You fucking, this guy tries to bait you in there.
He like turns around. You're never gonna catch me.
If you saw, that's a trick you'll see me use a lot of, where I swap from the front target to the back target to better hit them both with the attack. That's just good use of focus. I'm very good at this game. I'm sorry, but I am. I love it. I love how good I am at this game. It's so fucking, it's like such a dumb thing to be proud of, but whatever. There it is.
It's because this game is hard, man.
It is, but it's
And
not really.
It's
Like I said, if you
once
know
you
what you're
master
doing-
it, you feel good about it because
Yeah.
it's like that
It's like
confidence
life.
and
Yeah,
pride in
man.
knowing
Yeah.
that you're good at this.
And it's
Something that like
Like
other
I
people
said,
struggle with. You feel good knowing
this
that you
will
can do
this
it.
is a game that will test your emotions, man, every step of the way. It'll test your anger, it'll test your patience, it'll test
Well, it's
everything.
the same sort of feeling as running a 50K run.
Not really.
No, because not everybody can do that. So when
Oh,
you
yeah,
do
yeah, I
that
got you.
and you win, you're like, yeah, I'm a
Yeah,
badass.
because you
that
stand
confidence
amongst
and
you,
pride.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I got you. But I don't even feel like that with this, because I think there's more people that have beaten this than not beaten it.
Oh yeah.
And you know, the people that didn't beat it, that's what I fucking completely trailed out of that at the fucking graveyard. But the game is marketed as like this super hardcore experience, and I wandered into that graveyard thinking that I could, and it was just incredibly Matthew Matosis he made an incredibly insightful comment about that. He said, I'm sure that somewhere along the line, new players have wandered into this sort of an area and given up on the game because they believe that it is the intended path because of the over emphasis on difficulty within the marketing.
And the community.
Yeah. So I thought that was very insightful, and it is exactly what had happened to me. Like that is my story with Dark Souls.
Oh yeah.
Like 100%. I wandered into that graveyard, and I fought all those guys, finally beat them, wandered into the catacombs, realized they were coming back from the dead, and was like, fuck this.
Right.
This game is stupid. I'm done playing it. It's just one of those
that's
games
what I
that's
mean,
like,
like,
oh, I'm hard to be hard.
Well, that's...
Like, that's genuinely my thoughts on it. I was like, they just are saying it's hard, but it's really just cheap. You know?
Right.
Like, it's not hard. Nothing about this is hard. This is just cheap. Like, that's what I was saying, because it's true. If that was the intended path for the game to make you take, it's an incredibly cheap game.
Oh yeah.
Like, those skeletons will fuck you up at the start of the game.
And you're not even able to kill the shit underneath.
No, you're gonna get fucked up.
But that's the thing, is I think when I say hard, I mean that in a way that, like, other people have a hard or a difficult time with this game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it is something that people do have
Oh,
a difficult time with on their first playthrough.
And
it takes a
understandably
while
so.
to really get a feel for it.
This guy's coming in for the gank. You see that? Mm-hmm. But you see how it's fair. I knew he was coming, and I had all the time in the world to get out of it. Yeah, but that's...
And on the other side of it is a spear guy.
Yeah, yeah.
And so it's like, if you're going to panic in that moment and leave both of them alive, then they're both going to pincer you and kill you.
Yeah, you're going to get fucked up there.
But it's not like Dark Souls 2 where you turned around, there's 20 now.
Yeah, or you ran in here and there's 15 in here, and then there's 15 more in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, wow. You wandered far, didn't you, little buddy? Look at him, he wandered out here just like a little canary.
A little canary.
Little fucking dead-ass canary.
Fly away, bird. Fly away, little birdie.
And once you crack this, you're good.
You got a shortcut?
Yeah, but where is the guy?
Shortcut,
the guy who usually comes through it and sets it off. Where did he go?
I'm not sure.
Because he's not supposed to respawn.
He's supposed to be down here.
Yeah, he's usually right there by the gate, so that's interesting. And then that guy wandered all the way out here.
$20 patch.
Things are becoming interesting. I don't know if I'm going to be able to beat this game. Let's see, this guy from the left should come. And I knew that he was there.
And he was there.
Yep. You hold still.
I will dodge. I will dodge. I'm a little older knight.
He's a little... These guys are little
I poke
bitches.
you, and I poke,
Yeah,
and I
these
poke,
ones,
and I
these ones
poke.
with their straight swords, they just go apeshit.
And I like it to poke, yeah.
And their shields, like, they just, like, can hold it up and swing at you the whole time. That's kind of the benefit of that weapon and spears. Some of them you can attack while blocking.
Yeah. But that sword right there is actually a really good one. I farmed that guy for that sword.
Oh, really?
I think that's a... I can't remember what it is, but that moveset right there that he did with the shield, you can do that with that sword.
Alright.
I remember farming that in this game, and it ended up taking me a long time, even with a lot of humanity, which is why I brought that up earlier about Dark Souls 2 and the item find. Because I farmed some shit in Dark Souls 2, and I didn't get it, and I was left having to fucking burn a bonfire, set it, and respawn a bunch of shit and have it be more difficult, or flip the entire game into New Game Plus and try and farm it again, of which there's only a finite amount of times you can kill the shit before it fucking despawns.
Yeah, because the game fucking fucked you.
Instead of this game where it's like, I can kill that guy over and over and over and over again, and the sword has a low drop rate. So even if I have a lot of humanity, it's going to take me a while. But you know what? I don't have to restart the fucking game to get it.
Yeah, I agree. I don't like many things about Dark Souls 2. Like I said, I think Dark Souls 2 was built with a heavy emphasis on multiplayer.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like that was a mistake because it completely threw off the balance for the solo player.
Oh yeah.
And that, oh god, man.
Not just balance of the solo player throughout the single player campaign, but it throws up the balance of the entire game. I feel it does anyway, because one thing about Dark Souls 3, and I'm not sure if they did it this way for this, it's just my own random theory, I don't have any information or knowledge about this, but how you can't upgrade your armor anymore.
Yeah.
I felt like that was there to kind of level the playing ground for co-op and PvP,
Well,
especially
they simplified.
PvP.
Well, yeah, exactly, and it's also to speed up the game.
Because
it's the
of
action too.
Yeah, but because of that, you don't have a progression system where you actually feel like you're taking less damage throughout the game from bosses.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is why I like this game a lot better.
Well, that's the thing about that game, is it feels like when I play Dark Souls 3, for instance, not even Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls 2 is the same, but Dark Souls 3 is much more polished to it, and the combat's a lot smoother and quicker than Dark Souls 2. The hitboxes are refined. It's an exceptional game in that aspect, but even when I play that solo without playing with you guys, I feel underleveled. Like the whole time. Like I feel like underleveled through that whole start until I start getting my weapons. And my weapons, unfortunately, are buried in the Crucifixion Woods. And there's no way to get them.
It's like every single, like, there's a point in that game where you're like, fuck. And then another point in that game where you're like, fuck. And then another point in that game where you're like, oh my god, really? And it just progressively is that way. Like, there's never a moment where you feel like you're on a level playing ground with everything in the area.
No.
Like, you go from, like, the fucking Crucifixion Woods to the Poison Swamp, and then you go from the Poison Swamp.
You feel like the game.
To
you feel like the game wants you to have a co-op summon.
Exactly.
Especially considering those areas, if you're online and embered anyway, you're going to be getting invaded all the time. So it's now you versus the entire environment plus fucking an invader, and you may as well have your brothers or your friends or whoever you're playing with there, right?
Oh yeah.
And that's what's dumb.
Because the enemies were built to fucking kill you.
That's what's dumb to me in my eyes, is that game is built with the intention that you are going to be there with 2 other people. Or 3 even, with the finger. But when you play that game with more people, and you have to do the bullshit where, oh, okay, we beat this boss, but now we gotta stop and go back and do it in your game now. It's like, we can't just move on in my game and complete, like, Salt and Sanctuary, Remnant from the Ashes. It's like this convoluted system that's dated back to this point, when I don't think it was necessarily an afterthought, but more of an interesting, curious way. And it wasn't intended to be played with your friends on your friends list.
Right.
Because there was no guarantee that you were all going to be in the same cell.
Well, that's what I mean is like an afterthought, is because other games that do have co-op systems are putting it at the forefront. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
built for you to play with friends that you know. And this game, until there was that mod, there was no way to play with friends that you knew.
Yeah.
It was just, you may get somebody that you know, but only if you and that person are playing at the same time.
It's not so much that it's an afterthought, in my opinion, as it is, it's just an interesting thing, like so many things within the Souls series.
Right.
It's meant to be an interesting takeaway from, or a difference from conventional games and conventional co-op, and that's why it is like that. But the thing about that is, once you've started to design, like you were saying, Dark Souls 2 and 3, with the multiplayer in mind, you need to get rid of this fucking antiquated system. Because unless the game is designed the same way, with the odds that you won't even see your friend's summoning sign, it's like, why not make it easier for me to play with my friends? And why punish us for wanting to play together? Because if we wanted to play this online right now together, we'd have to deal with fucking the same PvP builds that have been built. Yeah. that have been going on in the community since fucking God knows when.
Because they didn't bother to fix any of that shit.
Yeah, no, and that's the fucking thing. Like that's my biggest gripe with Dark Souls is I love the multiplayer. Like I love playing this with you, team, but at the same time I hate it. And I hate it not because of you, but because of the systems in which, the systems of the game where we gotta.
Because it gets monotonous.
So this
we
is
gotta
how,
go through Sen's Fortress twice. We gotta go through Londo twice.
This is how you get back to the Asylum, by the way, guys. And you're probably meant to do this a while later. But since we didn't get the Black Knight's Greatsword off of that Black Knight, we're jumping the gun and coming here a little bit earlier than usual. But it's completely fine. We should be alright.
If it doesn't happen, Claymore.
I'm not going to lie. I might die a couple of times on the demon, but that's to be expected with the drop in. And then if he gets an attack off quicker than I can dodge, it's just I'm going to die. I'm just a little egg. That fucking donkey video. Oh my god, dude. I find Donkey funny as hell. He's a funny guy.
I think he's funny.
Yeah, dude. I think it's funniest when people take him seriously too, and he loves it.
Because
like, he
he's
gets
not
off on that shit.
That's like taking Will Ferrell from Step Brothers.
Yeah, dude.
Like, Jesus Christ, man. He's clearly being funny to be funny.
Yeah, he's clearly acting crazy to act crazy. Oh god. You're gonna die. I might die to these fucking guys, dude.
Fire, 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 fire!
Yeah, dude. Fire is fucking Hollow's worst enemy, dude. He almost got me.
He almost
That was no bullshit. He almost just got me, bro.
Oh, man.
Fucking hell, dude. Yeah, glass cannon builds are tricky, but if you know what you're doing, they're pretty solid. I think this build I got works really well. It's just a little tricky in the beginning, but once you get it set, and like I said, like that's why I went to that.
You may not even get.
Well, I wanted to get the Covenant of the Sun, BONFIRE, the Sunlight Covenant, because I wanted, just in case we can't get that, I can always fall back onto that Claymore. This is an excellent fallback weapon for, it has the same moveset as the Black Knight sword, so it's just an in case, and I like that that's there. Like, you know, I'm not relying on drops.
And there's other weapons too that you can play with. Yeah. Like, I've done multiple different playthroughs with different builds.
I have too. Yeah, several different weapons. The worst one that I would not recommend was my dexterity with scimitar.
With the Uchigatana?
Yeah, with the Uchigatana. That was a horrible build.
I think that was probably the hardest for me too.
I had a really, really rough time with that.
It's because some of those dexterity weapons, they do low damage per swing, but it makes up for it because it bleeds. So like you build up a bleed meter, and then when it fills up all the way, it does a big chunk of damage all at once.
Yeah, with the bleed on them.
And that's like where the give and take with the damage on that is.
And it's good. Like, don't get me wrong, but it ain't a Black Knight Greatsword.
Nah. And it's also a personal
I like my, I like my big blade, dude.
Do you like to smash? Do you like to crash?
I like a smash. Swing big pieces of heavy fucking metal.
Do you like to slice? What do you like to do?
Bam, baby. Done.
Fucking, what's his name? Smoth likes to crush bones and eat them, snort them,
and now
smoke them.
We will have no trouble killing this Asylum demon, but we may have trouble surviving the entrance to the boss fight, because he's a prick. And he likes to hide there and fucking hit you when you fall in. Before you even get a chance to move.
He's like, hey, he's like, fuck you,
guy. Jump, pound, you're down. Done, bye. Yeah. That will happen. Like I said, there's some cheap things. There's legitimately some cheap things here and there. I think the Witch of the Islet is the most blatant. Oh, I knew he was coming. I heard that. Oscar, man.
You motherfucker.
Why'd you have to go hollow? Somehow I landed that parry even though I took damage.
You let me go and now you're trying to kill me?
Like I shouldn't have. Whoa.
How much time has passed, Oscar?
Why you kick me, bro?
Hey, 100 years.
Hey, man. Oscar, can't we talk about this, bud?
Another thing that's interesting is like...
He's like, no.
this place looks a little bit different than when you were here. There's some enemies here that weren't here when you were here. And so...
And Oscar is hollowed out now.
Time has clearly passed here further than how much time has passed.
I don't know that that's clear.
I would think that's how I
Nothing's
look at
really changed. There's just more hollow placements. Like, these guys are here now, and there's the fire guys out there, but wouldn't they be out there with torches looking for the runaway undead?
But, well, yeah. But, I mean, those knights weren't there.
Well, the Black Knights would be called in, right? That's the interesting thing, is like, it's almost like everything here has responded to your escape. Like, the Black Knight is down by your cell. There's another one up here on the way to the drop down to the boss. It's like, then there's the guys out there with torches, like they're out there looking for you. It's like a prison that you busted out of that's reacting to that. I think.
I just always looked at it that way because, like, you came in here and fought the boss, and the floor didn't crumble. It had this big, giant, fat guy.
Well, yeah, but that's probably why
and then,
it
like, you
eventually
walk on
crumbles.
and it crumbles. And then this, like, it kind of looks a little bit different
Not
with
really.
that knight. It looks different from the Prepare to Die edition.
That's probably what's fucking you up.
Because one thing is, it's a lot darker, and all you can see is that Silver Knight back there hiding in the shadows. And this is all
It's
lit
so
up.
bright, dude.
And
Look
it
at
looks
this.
green.
Yeah, the
Can
stone.
I just say,
yeah,
it
dude.
really, like, there's a lot of hues and colors that shouldn't
Yeah.
be in here.
It was a lot darker, dude. That's for damn sure. Like, the brightness in here, and I'm sure it'll look
It's
really
supposed
pleasant
to
in
feel
some
dark.
places.
I'm sorry, I don't like neon green and fucking yellow in my Dark Souls.
Yeah, look at that, dude.
Like,
And it's got the wet texture because it's out in the rain.
yeah.
That's another thing. Was it
Which
raining before?
I
don't know.
I don't mind the wet texture. I'm just more baffled by the color design because, like, Dark Souls is a very atmospheric game, you know?
Yeah.
Everything that you see is the world, and the world is tied together intricately, and the story is scattered throughout the world, and they have, like, a very unique feel of how it should look based on the story and what's scattered throughout the world. But this is, like, there's so many colors that just were not here. And I feel like it looks worse.
I think
because
maybe
of
they
that.
were there, but it was all under a different, darker palette. Everything was just darker. I think. So what they did is they relit the fucking game, dude. Like,
Yeah.
that's one of the big selling points from the ground up was we relit the game. And I don't think that's necessarily a good thing.
I don't think so.
I think it's gonna. It really, if I remember
It
correctly,
fucks with
Anne
the color.
Orlando. Well, I remember Anne Orlando looked really impressive, and on the PS4. So I'm sure that's gonna be jaw dropping in this. But the thing about that is that was a brightly lit area.
Yeah.
That was meant to be brightly lit. That's the city of the
Exactly.
gods. That was the contrast.
That's
to
the
this.
thing. In this, it feels like the darkest areas are lit up.
And you're still alive. Get out
The
of here.
lit up areas are too bright, whereas in the Prepare to Die edition, the original version of the game, it was like the dark areas were supposed to be dark, like almost you cannot see in the dark areas. But then the bright areas didn't overcompensate.
A good comparison, I'll show you, like, I mean, I can't really compare it right now, but you'll see when we get to where the big demon is, or not the big demon, the Darkroot Garden.
Down at the bottom of Andre's church.
Yes, at the bottom of Andre's church where that big blacksmith demon is.
And in the Prepare to Die edition, that looks
Yes.
completely dark. You can't even see
Yeah.
that sucker. But then you go to the
It's-
painted world of
yeah.
Ariamis, and it's not like overcompensating because of how dark the rest of the game is, right? It just feels like that's how it looks, and it
Yeah.
doesn't like feel too bright or too dark.
I don't know, man. I feel like it's pretty cheap what they did here. I don't think their best effort was put forth.
Yeah.
And that's why I called it a cash grab, because in my eyes, that's what it is. Like, it's a cash grab for sure.
I just had.
Like, it
I
ain't
have to
humanity in
keep
here,
bringing
you
it
know?
up because that's the first thing I am going to bring up throughout this. Is like I didn't play the remastered. I didn't buy it. I've only played the Prepare to Die edition. So The more and more it looks different, the more and more I'm just gonna be like, wow!
Wow, I didn't mean to leave. I want to level up. Alright, 20 strength. Now we can wield that, so we're good to go.
Yep.
I'm gonna be fat rolling. Let's see if this fucking makes me fat roll.
Take off your pants!
Nah, dude, fuck that. I'll take a little fat. I'd rather be defended than fucking expose myself. Like, that's the thing. I like the idea of that, and I've played the game like that, but I always hold on to some armor.
Yeah.
There's several bosses that I feel like if you're not using heavy armor, you're doing yourself a disservice.
Yeah.
And the game gives you heavy armor before each one of those bosses. Like, there's a couple of different sets of really solid heavy armor in the game that are pretty much just given to you. So, here we go. We're about to go into the pit of despair. You know what I could do? It's gonna fucking...
It didn't matter.
Yeah, it's not gonna matter. Screw it, man.
Look at this guy. Look at this
Roll
demon.
forward, roll forward. Nope. He's so fucking dumb, dude. He's so fucking dumb. Like I said, that's gonna happen probably a couple times, so... It's what it is, man. Need him to not do that attack when we get in there.
Yeah.
If he does that attack, probably gonna die.
I just want to point out this humorous observation. I've known people that have that same body type.
What?
I've met people
Pear
who
shaped?
have that body type.
Yeah, we've known a few. Okay, get out of there now. That's when you want to run out. So this guy is pretty easy. A couple of things you want to do is 1, do not lock on. 2, if you see him doing a spell, get out of the area of effect radius of it. And basically, the way you're going to do this is just constantly run at his butt.
Keep getting behind him.
He's being a little
him.
asshole right now by
He's being
fucking
all
just
aggro.
sucking against the fucking wall. No, he just wants to stay right there because then he gets you in that corner, you can't get out, and he can kill you with this attack right here. But if you dance with him, shadow box him, get behind him when he does this. I love that they didn't bother to fucking work on the camera. Like, dude, just
They
come
could not
on.
be fucked.
Can you have it so it doesn't get
They could
stuck
not.
on fucking bosses?
They don't care.
Like, I mean, he looks good though, dude. Like, straight up,
Well,
these
yeah.
bosses
But you think
are
these,
looking
you
good,
think they,
dude.
well, yeah, but do you think they really cared?
I don't think so. I think it was all about making that money, dude.
Yeah. That's the thing, is like, it looks really good, but my problem is it feels like a lack of passion.
Well, that's exactly the problem with so many of them, is it's just a cynical cash grab, dude. And,
Yeah.
like, that's... At least with this one, they were able, like, still, like, I commend them. They got it running 60 frames
Yeah.
on consoles. And they did not need to do that. So that's the thing, like... A lot of those games companies have done these remasters that are fucking half-ass, lackluster as fuck. Like this one, where it's like, ooh, we added a bonfire and a handful of quality of life improvements and visual upgrades. That's the main selling point of this, obviously. Like, when you look at this fight, like, this guy looks better than he did in the old one. No! Dead. See that? He would not move away from that fucking wall, dude.
He wouldn't that whole time.
There you go. That's all I needed you to do. Move away. And the only way to get him to move
No, he's
away,
like,
I
"I'll
guess,
move
is to
now."
fucking get him out front.
I will move now.
God, fucking asshole, dude. And now I run the risk of losing all my humanity because they're down there in his pit. And he could potentially do that cheap bullshit again.
That cheap one shot where you drop
This
him.
motherfucker. Ooh. I really wish he'd fucking back away from the fucking wall. Can you get away from there? Thank you. God, dude, he's still just up there.
He's still in there?
He's just gonna hang out there. I'm gonna have to kill him there. He's being dumb as fuck right now, dude. That's gonna kill me, probably. Nope. He's such a fucking butthole.
Just...
I don't even care if he does this. He can perma-spam this all day. It's easy to avoid. It's when he starts doing these turns and he does that one and he catches you on his fat fucking belly and then you're fucked. Right there, that one. That's the one he'll get you with.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll use it over and over and over again because he will not move away from the wall. I cannot risk going into that neck of the woods. Dick! I hate him.
Dude, and it's like whittling wood.
Oh yeah. For sure, dude. That's 100% what it is. To be fair, I'm here so early.
Oh yeah.
But that's because coming here this early, not only for the Black Knight Sword, but the boon of souls this guy gives you, like...
And some of the starting weapons can feel that way, especially...
This guy is super
It feels a lot like
dude.
whittling, but the thing about it is it's just, it requires patience, you know, patience and time.
Well, he's got a lot of health. Even
can't-
later, he takes time.
You can't get flustered, you gotta just, like, stay calm and...
It's like cutting fat off a piggy's ass. Another little slice.
Cut me off another piece of that back bacon, bitch.
That good old back bacon. Oh my god, no.
Oh, you're good.
What are you doing?
He's backing away.
That's when he goes for that combo and he get you with that and you're dead. Basically, this prick cannot hit you. Do not let this prick hit you. Good, I can't see anything. Thank you, game. I don't need to see where my character is going and located currently. That's fucking for noobs. I like it. I prefer it when I can't see my character during a boss fight that can one-shot me.
Right.
I prefer it that way. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan.
There's some instances like that, but overall, this game's a fucking... I would not take it any other way.
Yeah.
But look at how shitty this rubble looks, dude. Like,
That
that's the rubble from us falling in here, dude. It looks like shit.
That is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Like, the coloring, it doesn't look right.
It's like they tried to give it like a stone texture, like granite almost, but it does not fly. It does not match the... I mean, the outside of it looks like bricks and mortar, and then you look in it and it's all solid. And then you just walk through it like boop boop boo.
And like
in the original
insides of
game,
it
it's
is
very...
bright.
It's so dark in here, like...
Yeah, you can't see any of this.
Yeah,
really.
it's way, way dark in here. So it's like this. Like I said, it's the light. The new lighting system that they put in it is really what's doing that.
Yeah.
And I'm not a fan of it, but I'm a fan of the smooth. Like, I feel like the 60 frames and the enemy animations and the enemy textures, like the physical character models, they look really good.
Yeah.
Like, that boss looked really good. To me, personally.
Well, oh yeah.
Like, just the way, like, compared to the other one. But it's bright as shit in here, and the environments don't really look that good.
Off. The color scheme for me is really what drives me nuts.
Yep. Oh, God. Wow. Okay, bro.
Motherfucker.
Did you see that fucking guy?
He's trying to do to you what you did to the first guy.
He tried to fucking give me one chamber.
He tried to give you one from up there.
What the fuck? Who said that guy could give me one?
He's trying to stab you in the head.
Another reason I prefer to get this sword earlier off that first Black Knight too is because Snuggly the Crow over here, you can bring, the different kinds of fungus you buy. There's purple, and you can red, and so purple gets rid of regular poison, red gets rid of bleeding, and white gets rid of toxic. And if you have one of each of those, you can get a bunch of Twinkling Titanite early, and then when we go back to Andre, which is where we're headed now, you end up with a like +3 Black Knight Greatsword, and you win. Mm-hmm. You win the game at that point, so... Like, this is it. Like, we win.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this is... That's my start, okay? My start's over. Now we're gonna get started to play the game. I hope you guys have enjoyed this so far. We're probably gonna cut this here and get to the proper game next time. Till then, keep looking up there. Up there. I don't know what's up
Have
there.
fun up there.
I got no other fucking emotes. Do I have a hey? Hey,
wave.
bye,
Hey,
everybody.
goodbye,
We'll see you next
everybody.
week. Stay awesome. That's it for me, Jax.
Chubbz.
Love you guys. Thanks for watching. Till next time, stay awesome, stay safe, and as always, keep kicking ass. Woo, I almost died right there.